All right, so it looks like we have a good number of people on this call right now. So I would like to start by introducing Lisa, and I would like to tell you a little bit more about her. So Lisa Taylor is a multi-dimensional human, leader or healer, coach, guide, business owner, yoga teacher, and more. She is the founder of the Hive Holistic, a business and personal coaching service designed to unveil the power within. The mission of the Hive is to bring peace to overstretched business owners so they can shine powerfully, live in balance, and perform at their best. She guides professionals that feel good, but not good enough. They run businesses, families, and teams, and this causes overstretching and lack of self-worth and a lower frequency of life. She takes a holistic view of your life, not only of your business, but all areas, which is key in this new world. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Lisa to the stage.
Thank you so much, Brian, and welcome everyone. How's my sound? Can I get a thumbs up if you hear me okay? Okay, awesome. 2 thumbs. Wonderful. So great to see you. Thank you for being present here. I hope to deliver just a ton of value. That's the whole point of this, is for me to bring you value, to bring you resources. Obviously, you're here because you feel like you're reaching towards the impossible, maybe. And it's my mission to really provide you, like I said, tools, resources, and, connect with one another. I've hosted a couple of these calls already, and there's been a lot of amazing connections made. Brian is actually alumni of a previous call. And there's so much we can do when we connect with one another. So without further ado, I wanted to share with you a little bit more about me and how I've stayed sane during the challenging times that we're living in, and also share with you kind of a peek behind the curtain so you can borrow some of these tools and take action on them immediately. And at the end of this call, as Brian mentioned, it's scheduled to be about 60 minutes, leaving time for Q&A at the end. And if you want to go deeper and if you want to experience a little bit more about the work that I do, I'll just share a link and you can set up a call separately. How does that sound? Thumbs up if it sounds good. Head shake. Love it. Okay. Awesome. And if you're in West Coast time, I know it's lunchtime, so feel free to eat if you need to, take care of yourself, do what you need to do. Let's jump in. So I like to begin meetings, calls like this with just 5 deep breaths. And it's a very simple tool to bring a pause from what we were doing before and to get us in the mindset for what we're doing now. So if you'd like to join me, or if you have another practice, I'm all ears. But what we're going to do is just, if you're comfortable, close your eyes and just relax your body. And we're just going to inhale through our nose and exhale through your nose. Big inhale, inflating your belly. Slow exhale. Inhale, inflate the belly. Exhale to slowly contract. 2 more times, inhaling through the nose. Slowly exhaling. One last time, deep inhale through your nose. And a big exhale. When you're ready, you can just gently open your eyes. Maybe you notice a difference. Maybe things are a little bit easier. There's less nerves. If you're comfortable to type in the chat, you can tell me what you noticed in just those 5 breaths. And that's just about a minute of breathing. And it's incredibly powerful thing. There's a ton of science behind it. But what I like to think is it's like closing down all the apps. When you have all your apps open in your phone, those 5 breaths help you feel more peaceful. I love that. Calm. Yep. Calmness, a wave of calmness, even. Maybe even some clarity comes through. Relaxed. Beautiful. Yeah. Present. That's the intention behind that. So there's one tool you can take with you, again, before meetings. It's so hard to remember, right, Matt? Oh my gosh. I tell my clients to set a timer. on their phone 3 times a day to take those breaths. So that's something you can try. Love it. Okay. So, as Brian mentioned, my mission is to bring peace to overstretched professionals so that they can shine powerfully, live in balance, and perform at their best. And the vision overarching outside of my business, just my personal vision, is more evolved, more healed humans that use both inner and outer knowledge and guidance to make decisions in life and in business. And it all begins with you. You are at the center of your hive, your community, your universe. So if you're able to take care of yourself, you can take care of others so much better. And I have had a ton of personal experience in this, and that's how I know this to be true. So I'll share with you a little bit about my personal story. Back in 2015, I lived in the Bay Area. That's where I started my company. It was a marketing business. It was doing incredibly well. And I got married. In 2016, we had to move. We had all these storms in our home due to a crazy El Nino year. So I moved to Southern California to LA. My husband at the time, his family was here, his business was here, and I was flexible enough to move. So I did, not wanting to. I wasn't ready, but I did it. It was the right move. About 5 months in, we get a knock on our door, and it's his sister and her little girl. And it's emergency situation, red flags. Little girl is 6 years old. She looks like she's a 4-year-old. Turns out she wasn't reading or writing. She wasn't potty trained. Mom needed a ton of help. So overnight, me and my husband decided to become parents because both the mom and the child needed that support. So one day, we were out at a concert one night. After this knock on the door, we're at parent-teacher conferences and really investing into our niece. And it was beyond challenging and amazing, all at the same time. And one of those moments where you know that the hardship is showing you so much about yourself, which I don't know, type in the chat if you can relate, if you've had anything difficult like this happen. And it shows you your strength. And meanwhile, I'm running my business when this is all happening. So I had to find ways to stay in balance. So I continued my yoga practice. I studied astrology, tarot, shamanism, Reiki, all kinds of things, and psychology as well. Fast forwarding here a little bit into 2018, I decided the marriage was no longer for me. I got a divorce and then went on my own healing journey. So after that relationship and the parenting, I needed to heal a lot of parts of myself. And that for me was a big spiritual transformation. I officially became a yoga teacher. I learned that I have my own healing abilities, and I decided to change my business model because I was no longer as fascinated by marketing. I was more excited about helping my clients in every area of their life. So we became we went from marketing business to holistic wellness. This was in 2019, and then the pandemic hit. So we were kind of ready to support and ready to be there for our humans running their own hives. So now we host meditation groups, we do one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and we do healing work. And so when 2020 hit, it was all about service. It was all about supporting, doing events like these and just being a resource. So holistic coaching is what we provide. And what that means is we look at you as a whole healed human, and we look at you from the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So as you'll see, when I share with you my 5 tools that kind of go into how we run this business, all of these areas are mentioned and highlighted because that's what makes up you. So now I want to hear from you guys, because I just shared with you some pretty incredible things and I thought they were impossible at the time. But what do you find right now is impossible? I put it in quotes because nothing is impossible, but what feels impossible? Type in the chat, or you can come off mute and share with your voice.
I'll share first,
Thank
if that's
you.
okay.
Yes.
I have photographic memory, and I'm trying to develop a method called the Harvard method of learning for those with dyslexia, ADHD, those that lack focus in reading or math. And I'm doing it to help win a Nobel Peace Prize for Dr. Coslin, he's the Einstein of learning. So right now I'm putting that in the works.
And what about that feels impossible?
The fact that I'm trying to teach the world photographic memory.
Oh, so it's like brand new. It's never really been done before, kind of thing.
It's never been done before.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Keep that with you because we're going to do an exercise if you guys are game where we're going to tap into this and really give you the tools to accomplish these big goals that you have. Anyone else want to share either on chat or with your voice? You can come off mute.
Yeah, I'm happy to share. Sorry for the sideways camera. My webcam on the monitor here is just refusing to behave.
Oh, you look right side up to us.
I was undocked and docked. Yeah, but I'm over here. I'm not. It's over here. This is where my camera is supposed to be. So you're gonna look at the side. I can look at you there, but then I can't see your faces. So it's complicated. Anyway,
no worries.
I think time. It's all about time. So I'm in a good place. I also went through a divorce several years ago, but moved well past that now. And I have a thriving business, or at least a business that's growing and starting to thrive. But it's just finding enough time to invest in that, but also take time away from that for wellness and for my spouse and for my kids and all the other things that go around it. So yeah, I think that's my biggest challenge.
Time, like having enough time and balancing your time. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I'm just making sure that enough time goes into the stuff that isn't activities.
Totally. Ditto. Time to scale business while maintaining sanity and self-care, says Lee. Yeah. Find time to do things for self-care, Beth Ann says. So we all kind of relate to time, right? And how do we manage it? And how do we, Brian too, how do we make time for ourselves? Cool. Yeah. It's an ongoing practice. I will share that from my own experience. I know that some moments can feel more full than others, but I can definitely share my tools on that. One thing I'll tell you right off the bat is plan your fun first. So when you're planning your week, pick and identify the times I'm having fun here, whether it's with my kids, my partner, whatever. Identify that time, put it in your calendar, and commit yourself to it. Gary says, challenge finding people that share our business vision and equally committed. Yeah, I hear you. I'm curious what your business vision is, Gary. Maybe there's some people here that align with it.
Our business is a health and wellness platform for esports and competitive gamers.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Do you want to say a little bit more? What's the vision?
Oh, yeah. You have 3 hours? Yeah, I can do that all day long.
How about 30 seconds?
30 seconds. Well, gaming has obviously found a life of its own over the last 6 years that I've been involved in gaming. Yeah. And health and wellness has never been much of a focus. So we produce a fair amount of products that help a variety of things, from focus and anxiety to sleep and pain. And we have a new product coming out that actually boosts your electrolytes, but you don't have to mix it with water. But we also have a job portal. If you're looking for a job in gaming, you can upload your resume to the site. It will match you to all the available jobs in gaming. It's hard to find people want to look at it from a health and wellness perspective, as opposed to esports and gaming and the kind of the reputation that gaming has, being pimple-faced kids in a dark room on a couch with no friends. Sure. And it's anything but that. It's a career. The FAA is hiring gamers for traffic controllers. The military hires them for drone pilots and things like that. But to get somebody that understands that passion about health, wellness, driving success for those that game, and pardon the pun, but the halo audience around them has been very difficult.
Okay. Well, I see some heads nodding. So maybe you can drop your email address
Sure.
and you can connect with people here.
They're probably all gamers.
All the gamers are here, Gary.
Actually, I'm not a gamer, but I'm not a kid either, and I have this zit right here that I've been dealing with all day. I've had like,
Okay, well,
isn't it funny how when you don't have any meetings, like you look, your face looks flawless, and then like when you have 3 meetings in a day, you have this like. We actually named it at my last meeting, but you know, my personal issue is really talking about that. You know, I actually literally wrote down plan for fun first. Because we're opening a brand new, I'm in a mortgage broker, and we just opened a brand new branch. We're 5 weeks old.
Wow.
And my relationship was with my laptop. And I literally have a picture of me at 3 o'clock in the morning that I took for LinkedIn of me sleeping with my laptop. I woke up at 3 in the morning and it was just like there. And I took a picture. And if anyone wants to peruse my LinkedIn, if you look at the past messages over and over and over, it's like, people more experienced than me, please, I'm begging you, teach me how to have that balance, because I cannot let it go at night. I cannot, I literally, it'll be 9, 10. I'll be like, okay, I just have one more thing to do, one more call to take, one more this. And the next thing you know, it's so late at night. Then I can't sleep because I'm like jacked because I have all these things going on in my head.
It's a cycle.
And then
for
thank you so much, Leah. But like, it's like, or Lee, sorry. It's like having that turn off. I don't have it. And so that I'm literally leaning to, that's why I'm here. I want your guidance.
Okay.
Anyone who can feed me any type of guidance other than a sound machine, got it. Turning off your TV, done it. Turning off my phone, okay. Turning on my computer, but even when it's closed, it's like calling me. It's like, Lacey, you just know one more thing. And my performance feeds other people. If I don't perform, they don't eat. So
100%. Yeah. Great. Well, we're here for just that. And Beth Ann just said, leave your laptop in your briefcase, which is a great tip, but I would go one step further, and it's about your mindset. It starts here. So we're going to tap into it. We're going to do a little meditation together, and you're going to get clear on whom you want to be and what that vision is. Cause it does start with the vision. It starts high level. What am I creating? And then it drops down into the practical. So I'm excited you're here. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Anyone else? Matt says his son's high school has an esports team. What? Are these products suitable for kids? Look at that, Gary.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Well, Gary left his email.
Even the CBD-based pain relief is good for kids.
And dogs, right? Yeah.
And dogs, even though it's a violation in FDA rules and regulations, they're sold everywhere.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad we're making connections. This is great. All right. Anyone else want to share what they find impossible at the moment? I'm hearing a lot of echoes of time and putting things away and creating boundaries is what I hear. Let me make
I think I don't know if you're able to see my video because I can't see my video, but
I can't. Tell us your name.
My name is Swapna.
Hello, Swapna.
Hello. And I think the thing that I find impossible at times is, I'm very risk averse, and I feel when I do not take risk, again, it's a mental thing, right? I can't achieve as much as I could because I'm just playing safe all the time. So that's something that I find very challenging. I know it's an issue, but I think it's all mentally there. But
that's a great one. So getting comfortable with risk, getting comfortable with the unknown, I'm hearing. What would it do for you to take risks? I'm curious.
I don't know. Maybe I just need to, push myself and do it a few times to get comfortable with it. But as of now, it's like, oh, I have a safe option. Maybe I'll take the safe option versus it's just easier, I think. So
yes, staying easy and safe versus risk and maybe different rewards, a different experience.
Yeah, because that's also going to give me growth because those will be different experiences and,
yeah, beautiful. Good awareness. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right. These are so good. I love also that many of us can relate to one another here and the challenges that we're experiencing. So I want to move forward into a little bit about how I help you with this. And then I want to do some future selfing. Has anyone done future selfing before? Raise your hand or chat. We're going to tap into whom we're going to be in the next 90 days. So we're going to create the future. So all of those great things that you shared, I've been there too. I've been through a lot of those. And what's helped me is looking at myself and my clients on the 4 areas, as I mentioned earlier. So mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. And if we're able to kind of assess where we are in each of those, not that we have to be perfect in all of them, but at least assess and be aware, we can bring more balance to life. So that's how I created our holistic life system. It's a 5-step signature system, and I'll share with you those steps so you can take these tools. And it's really how we achieve breakthroughs in as little as 2 weeks with some of our clients. So I'm excited to share more about that. So for this next part, I encourage you to get something to write with. I'm a big fan of journal pen to paper. Something happens chemically, biologically, neurologically when you take what's in the brain and it goes through your hand onto the paper. The body, it's like bringing something that was a thought and completely non-form into physical form. And that's incredibly powerful. Brian just says, I can vouch for that fact, mind-body connection. And we know this, right? We're business owners. Like when we write goals, we achieve them. When we visualize success and we write it down and we make a vision board, we go for it. So highly recommend that. Ditto. Nice. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little meditation. So this is going to be a few minutes, and then we're going to write things down. And then if you're comfortable, you're going to share with one another, because sharing is another level of bringing into reality. So who's ready to meet ourselves in 90 days? I want to share with you guys really quickly. I did this yesterday. I was telling Brian, I did this yesterday. This amazing visual came through in my meditation. I was like, what is this? What? And I was watching the earth from this high vantage point, and I was watching the sun coming over the earth for morning. I'm like, this is weird. 90-day meditation. Like, what is this telling me? Wrote it down, whatever. So in my practice, all of these things are clues and messages, and they might make sense now, or they might make sense in like 6 months. The next morning, I get an email. I've been invited to be a part of this project, and it's a lot of coaches and healers supporting this film. And I get the script to the film. I get to read it before other people do. And the opening is the sun coming over the earth. I was like, wow, I'm so in alignment. So this is powerful stuff. As I tell you that because this is powerful stuff. And whatever you receive in this meditation is meant for you. Just write it down and know and trust that it's meant for you. So without further ado, get comfortable in your seat. I'm going to guide you. So we'll just do this for a few minutes. And have your journal, your writing utensil, roll the shoulders a little bit. All right. So if you're really ready, let's just close our eyes, let our arms relax by our sides. Close your eyes and take a deep inhale through your nose. Slow exhale through the nose. Inhale, inflating the belly. Exhale, contract. Inhale to expand. Exhale, slowly contracting. Inhale, taking in all that beautiful air. And a slow exhale through the nose. Continue just like this. Just allow the breath to slow the body down. Slow down the mind. If you get distracted, that's not a problem. Just allowing everything to be a part of this meditation. You can come back to the breath. So bringing awareness to your vision. Imagine whom you are 90 days from now. It's 3 months. Call that version of you forward. And notice what this version looks like, maybe what they're wearing, how they feel, and what they're doing, maybe how they're interacting, what kind of relationships might come forward, maybe how much money you're making. Really start to paint this picture of yourself 90 days from now. Who's around you? And maybe you even start to interact with this version of yourself. Maybe you have a conversation. Could be a telepathic conversation, could be a physical conversation, doesn't matter, but just really start to understand this version and ask yourself, how did you get to show up daily to get to this version? And just sit with this question until the answer comes. And then ask yourself, who did you get to be to make this a reality? Maybe you got to be the very strong and powerful version of yourself. Maybe you got to be the more silent, receptive version. Just explore that question. And finally, what is the one thing that would be best to focus on to create this vision of yourself in the next 90 days? Staying here as long as you need to get those answers. When you're ready, just thanking this version of you, maybe giving it a hug, and slowly wiggling your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, just very gently open the eyes, coming back into your space. And without saying anything, just start to journal about that experience. And I will chat over all of those questions so you can reflect. Take your time here. Be thoughtful. No rush. So questions are in the chat. I'll just repeat them in case you need to hear them again. What does your dream life look like 90 days from now? Any messages that came through around that? Any feelings? How did you get to show up daily to get here? Who did you get to be to make this a reality? And what is the one thing that would be best to focus on to create this vision in the next 90 days? Give you a few more minutes here. Write down as much as you can. Everything from the answers to the experience, all of this is valid here. Okay. So, yeah. Who would like to share, or maybe type in the chat? You can share something interesting that happened. You can share an answer to the question. I'd love to hear from you guys. How was that? Clarity on what you need to do next. Awesome. Awesome. Like next steps. Cool. That's always very useful, very practical. Great to hear that, Brian. Anyone else? I'll let you type. So felt a sense of freedom. Wow. Amazing, Gary. That's awesome. Did it feel good? Need to say no to even more things to make space for the focused, creative me that will get me there. Oh, that's a great one, Matt. Great awareness and insight for sure, says Gary. Janine said, a reminder to write down my vision and plan with a purpose. Wow. That's powerful. That's really powerful. Awesome, Janine. Yeah, right? I think so too. It is a big deal. Yeah, when you start with a vision, it really does change, right? I understood how important self-worth and self-confidence is and to achieve everything I wish for. Wow, Swapna, thank you for sharing. Yeah, incredible. Incredible, guys. Yeah, type in the chat, continue. Isn't that wonderful? Congratulations. Amazing. The one clear answer that came to me was with regards to how did I show up daily? Determination, discipline, meditation. Wow, Sarah, you've got a recipe there. Recipe for success. I love it. DDM method, right? I love it. I love it. So even going one step further would be, what is this all going to do for me? This daily, determination, discipline, meditation. Just need to focus, on how to do all of these. That's great. I hope I can share some tools for that. Awesome, you guys. Thanks for sharing. So amazing stuff, wonderful, powerful stuff. And now we have our vision, right? This is something we can come back to over and over again, especially when we're feeling low determination, low focus. Come back to, as Matt says, I need to say no more often, Or as Janine says, I need to write down my vision. So this is something you can come back to. Why 90 days? 90 days is kind of something we can wrap our head around. 3 months is a good time frame. 1 to 2 months is not enough time to really make a good significant change. So I find 90 days is something we can, a span of time that's kind of like digestible. If I went into 6 months or a year, it's a little too broad. And then, like I said, 1 or 2 months is not enough time. You can try, you can play with it, but in my experience, 90 days tends to be the best.
On the business side, we're big fans of Traction by Gino Wickman. If you've come across it, he's a very successful Harvard professor, and there we work with 3-year and 1-year visions, and then anything shorter than that we call strategies and plans. So 1 month plan, and 90 days is the exact boundary for strategy, where you every 90 days you review because the team drifts off. So
right.
I think some of it's semantic almost.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for sharing. That's great. Yeah, sprints too. Totally same kind of methodology. Let's see. Focus and consistency are key things that I feel need to have to achieve who I want to be. Yeah, I think we all have that identified. I love that. All right. Well, let me share with you the 5 things that I have used to accomplish the impossible. You guys are already hitting on some of them. And this is part of our signature system. So looking at life holistically and really applying these 5 steps. And the first is goal setting. So now that you have your vision of where you want to be, you can take steps to create goals. And, SMART goals as we know them is great, but I like to layer in our values to our goals and the vision. So is this in alignment with your values and what you're trying to achieve? Specifically, sometimes we can get into which area of life this is for, whether it's for business or for personal. And what often happens is it bleeds into all the areas of life. So we set a goal for our business, which is about maybe like showing up for meditation every day. But the benefit is every area of life is then affected by your meditation practice. So that's step 1, is set your goal now that you've got this vision. And step 2, for those of us who need some consistency and some help and focus, find a way to be accountable and track these things. So this could be, what works really well is an accountability partner. It could be someone in this group here. It could be a friend, a colleague, a spouse. Just find a way to be accountable to yourself. And I like to just create an Excel chart, date what I'm being accountable for. Do I check the box every day? And there's something about, looking at that consistency that's really motivating. So I know there are many apps out there. You guys probably can tell me and educate me on more that could help you with this. Another thing I like to do is just a calendar when I'm going to do these things. So with Sarah's DDM method, she can calendar, okay, every morning I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes and I'm going to track myself on this. So you'll just need to find other ways to track your determination and discipline. Maybe it's a scale of 1 to 10. How determined was I today? Or how disciplined was I today? So when you create the tracking, you really start to train yourself to make these things habits. All right. So the next thing I really like to encourage you to do, and who hit on this earlier? Swapna kind of hit on this. Tap into your own strengths. So Swapna noticed how self-worth and self-confidence is what she needs to get to her vision. And if you are able to find your strengths, it's proven that this makes you not only more resilient, but more able to handle challenges and change. And it really changes your self-worth and your vision of yourself. So I like to use what's called the Strengths Finder. Maybe you guys have used it. I'm going to chat over the link. And on your own time, go there, find your strengths, find the things that you do really well. And the beauty is you get to find other people that do the other things well, that complement you, that can support you. So strengths are amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. The other tool I like is called Human Design. And this takes into account a lot of things, inclusive of your internal wiring, your astrological wiring, all kinds of the I Ching, the Kabbalah, all these really cool tools that are ancient, and it tells you more about who you are and how you operate in the world. So I'm going to link to that. It's called Jovian Archive Human Design. So 2 tools there to learn about your strengths. Has anyone used these before? Type in the chat if you've used like the Strengths Finder or Human Design. I'd be interested to know. Yes, Strengths Finder. Cool. Yeah. If you have team members, it's fun to have them take this and see what their strengths are and kind of ensure that you guys are in sync with their strengths and your strengths. Yeah, Strengths Finder, Janine. Cool. Awesome. All right. So the next step that I think is really important to address is the inside, the inner work. So our spirit, our soul, kind of the ways that we're showing up, maybe within a pattern or a belief. Again, Swapna mentioned, self-confidence, self-worth. What are the things you can do to heal maybe any wounds that might still be lingering? And with our clients, we work with them in a lot of different ways, but whatever comes up for them, that's kind of what we address. So for example, I have a client who came to me with a troublesome employee. She knew she had to fire her. She just didn't know how. We started our work together. 2 weeks later, that employee quit. And so she's building team now. And there's still a block on allowing people into her practice to take over so that she can relieve herself and do other things. So in our healing work together, we were working on that particular block. What is it about allowing new people in and relieving herself? And it really comes back to kind of a worthiness thing and being okay with new energies in her space. So that's the healing work we've done. She's now taken on her 3rd team member. But it's really that internal shift that needs to occur so that the external can be reflected. So that's a big theme in the work we do that I highly encourage everyone to do. All right. Finally, and something I think we all benefit from is having what I call a balance toolkit. And this is our list or our resource of items where we say, okay, I want to focus on this goal. How am I going to get there? Some of you identified really wonderfully what you need to do very practically. And my biggest recommendation for anyone is 5 deep breaths, which we've already taken twice in this call, and or having a daily meditation practice. And it's very simple. It's not always easy, but it is life-changing. And you've all noticed it as we started this call, how calm you were, how focused you were, how more present and connected. So what if you could do that every single day? And what if you did it multiple times a day so that when things get frustrating, you have a tool? When your kids drive you crazy, you have a tool. This is a free thing. You don't have to pay for it. You can if you want, but you don't have to. You take it with you anywhere in the world. You can have a meditation practice. So I give my clients that option, but there's many options on having a daily practice. So I want to hear from you. What do you guys do every single day to stay balanced? Because I'm sure you do many things. Type in the chat so we can all see. Walk, lovely. Cold bath, nice. So good for our nervous system and everything. Outside, got it. I was going to ask that, Matt. Inside or outside, nice. Cycle, yeah. Breath work, eat healthy snacks, stretch, TM, yes, all great things. What else? Get enough sleep. Oh, yes. Learning to cook, lovely. Yeah, there's something so nice about like being physical or being with your hands. Walked and just started yoga. Wonderful. Does anyone try to sleep at the same time each night? Yeah, that's great. Does anyone use sound or music? Or smell? Yes. Awesome. Yeah. That's great. It can really change your energy, right? Music and smell is an interesting one. I don't know if anyone uses essential oils, but sometimes I notice if I get a headache or if I feel stressed out, there's just certain oils will really change my mood. Freshly brewed espresso shifts me into work mode. Yeah, same idea, right? It's like awesome response. I love it. Anything else that you guys do? Nature sounds. Yeah, various genres of music for sure. Mint oil for energy. Yeah, great. Being. Ooh, how do you be? How do you get to that state? I want to know. The other thing I want to mention is your daily practice, your balance toolkit can change with you. It's flexible. It evolves with you. So what you were doing a year ago may or may not apply now. Being out in nature. Oh, okay. Thank you. I missed. Got it. Helps when candles are burning. Yeah, beautiful. These are great ideas. So ditto to candles. Nice. I love it. This is great. Traveling and new experiences, hopefully returning to the toolkit now. Great. So take all of these ideas, write them down. We're recording this, so you'll have access to this call too and the chat. This is your ongoing personal list. You get to choose. You get to decide what feels best for you. So I love it. This is good. It's all about, as I mentioned earlier, accountability and committing to it. So one thing, as I mentioned already, I like to do is put it in my calendar, make time for the practice. It can be a 5-minute practice, guys. It doesn't have to be an hour of meditation. It can be short, enough to give you what you need. So make it something that's achievable for you. Give yourself the opportunity to succeed here. Yeah. I love it. Thanks for sharing, everyone. This is so powerful. We all get to learn from one another too. All right. So this is the point where we can do Q&A. I'd love to support anyone more in depth by answering your questions here live. And then finally, I'm going to put my link to schedule a call. If you want to go deeper, I'd love to come up with something custom for you. I'd love to tell you more about how I can support you. Here's my toolkit. Look at that. Brian made a toolkit. So cool. We always have time for 10 breaths. We sure do. You proved it to yourself here. You've already taken 10 very intentional breaths. So stay on. Let's chat. Let's answer questions. Here's my Calendly link to book a call so we can go deeper. And I just really hope you got value out of this. I'm open for feedback, and I really appreciate your presence here. Anyone want to come off mute and share? This was an amazing call. Oh, wonderful. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Brian. I really appreciate you. No worries, Janine. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Does anyone? Gary is pinned. Let me do. Who's excited about their vision? I'm excited about mine personally. Pretty cool.
I think I'm going to go with skited.
Skited? What's that?
It's the blend of scared and excited.
I love it. What are you scared of?
Glennon Doyle's podcast. She talks about skited a lot. Well, because it's a stretch vision. So I mean, it's putting it out there. So
Yeah, it's there for you, it seems, if it's coming up, right? It's okay to be scared. We're getting stretched. It's a little scary.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. That's awesome. Matt, what kind of work do you do?
So my wife and I run a strategy and marketing consultancy, something you can probably relate to from your past life.
Absolutely. Wonderful.
And then we took some decisions based on our 5-year vision. So yeah, a little bit longer term about how we wanted to try and scale that. So we've launched a couple of new things this year, one of which has me on the hook to finish writing a book and get that to a publisher and start getting some in-person events organized again this year that we couldn't do last year. So
wonderful.
quite a few things have to fall into place. Well, have to, hopefully will fall into place in the first half of the year. So.
Okay, great. Keep us posted. We're all connected on LinkedIn, right? So
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to drop your LinkedIn, if there are new people here, drop in your LinkedIn profile. We'll click on it. We'll follow you and we'll support you. Awesome. Who else? Does anyone else have anything that's coming up? Fears is great. It's telling you you're pushing yourself, you're growing. Anyone else have things come up? No. That's okay. We can always chat more later. I'll stay on for some more time here. Brian put his LinkedIn, Matt did. Perfect. Great. Great. Well, friends, thanks for being here. Thanks for going on this journey and being open to seeing what comes up. I think that's really, really important. Yeah, my pleasure, Matt. My pleasure. Here to share, here to learn and to teach. So happy to do it. Yes. Thanks, Gary. I hope you got some value and I hope there are some connections that are made for you. Awesome. Thanks everyone for participating too. It's such a vibrant group. Yeah, I'll stay on and just answer your chats. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Sarah. Oh my gosh. Thanks for being here. I hope you get your DDM method. We've already branded you your DDM method going for you. Thanks for your time. I know, so funny. Thanks, Mpume. Thanks for sharing and for being present. Swapna, thank you for being here. I know you've got to go. Yeah. Well, we've all connected on LinkedIn, as I mentioned. I'll drop in my other channels so you can follow me there. I'm really active on LinkedIn and Instagram, and I also have a YouTube channel. So all of those have resources and tools and all kinds of fun stuff. So you can follow me there. Oh, and then also my website, I guess I can give you that too. Well, it was such a great hour with you all. Thanks again to Brian for being my awesome MC. And hope to stay in touch with you all. Those are my links. So if anyone else has questions, I'm happy to support you here live. Love to answer any questions you have. Thank you, Matt. Great to have you. Does anyone left have anything they want to share? The experience? Brian, I'm just going to call on you. since I know I can.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that was a great call. I got a lot
Awesome.
of value from that.
Thanks. I'm glad you were here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, this is recorded. We're going to share it on our page on LinkedIn and on the event page. So you can revisit, you can share with your friends. And yeah, I'm going to share this call. So I'm going to stop